Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I found a 2022 Ford F250. Now this is going to be a Lariat. I did do a video on this XLT, but I figured it'd be fitting to kind of show you really quickly just the interior design, because for the most part the exterior is pretty much the same, but where the biggest differences lie is inside. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Special thanks to Century Ford here in Mount Airy, Maryland. Be sure to give them a look up if you're interested in any new cars or used cars. Here's the configuration for the Ford F250 we're going to be reviewing today, and here's the color combination off to the right. Now this is going to be a short listing of some of the standard equipment on this particular truck, so just be sure to pause it if you want to see more. Now starting off the options is the engine configuration. This is an option. The 6.2 would come standard, so that 7.3 was $2,045, and it comes with a 10-speed. This one does have the FX4 package too, so it's going to have the all-terrain tires too at 265. 355 electronic locking axle is $390. And then take a look at some of the other features here. Last thing I want to mention is the Lariat value package. So just see what comes in that one. So the LED box lighting, remote start, driver's side memory seat, and then heated and vented front seats too comes part of that package for $710. All in, base price is $56,125, and then here's your options. Destination comes at $1,695 with a total price of $63,715. I did do a video on the XLT you're going to see in this video, but just for reference, this one was $58,970, and I'll put that video at the end of this one. Now something that I did notice on the XLT was it did not have any parking sensors up front. You do not have LED headlights or fog lights standard on this one, but it is available. You cannot get that on the XLT. Now the grille design is a little bit different from what I saw on the XLT2. It's a little bit more finished off and it has that more like complete feel versus what I saw on the XLT. But nevertheless, you do have black tow hooks down below. And check out the hood too. I love the design of this hood. Looks really menacing. Now, even though this truck does have a chrome front, they didn't finish the wheels off in chrome like they did this XLT. I actually like this design a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. Now the center cap is finished off in the chrome, but this is like more like an aluminum look to it. And these are going to be an 18-inch wheel too, and it's a Goodyear Wrangler tire. And then here's his tire size right here, LT 275/70/18, and you have a solid front axle. And overall, this truck rides decent. I mean, it's a little rough, which you would expect on a HD truck, but not bad. Now, something that I do notice because I have the door open is you do have a light down below. I'm gonna go ahead and close it now. And I love how large the cabs are for the Ford trucks. Ford and GM have the bigger cabs, and I guess you kind of have to throw a marble up and see which way it lands, because they're probably about the same size, give or take. Now you do have a running board down below. It says Super Duty. I like that. It looks pretty cool. And if you get this configuration, crew cab with short bed, you would get a 34-gallon tank. And you do have a leaf spring set up out back. And one thing that I mentioned on the window sticker is this truck does have a 355 rear end. You can get a 430 with this 7.3 liter. This F250 does have the FX4 package, so it's going to have the skid plates and the downhill assist. And then here's the tailgate. Now something that I noticed with this XLT is it did not have an assisted tailgate. So as you can see, this one doesn't either. So that is something that you can opt for with the Lariat. You can also get a fifth wheel prep package, but I do know with the way the supply chain is, some trucks are being delivered or getting that option deleted off because of supply and demand for those parts. But you do have a light here for your conventional hitch when you're going to hook up at night. And then here's some of your capacities for this Class 5 receiving hitch. They do give you a 7 and a 4-pin connector, and your parking sensors are out back. Now on this XLT, you did not have that light that shined down for your Class 5 receiving hitch, so just keep that in mind. And here's a better look at the truck overall. You do have a camera up top here for the bed. So even if you get a B&W turnable ball, it'll still be a good camera view for that if you need to hook up. Now I did notice this truck did not have the smart key system too. So it is available on the Lariat. You just have to pick the right option for it, basically. It never gets old showing you under the hood of a Ford with a 7.3 liter. This is truly my favorite gas engine. But nevertheless, this is going to be good for 430 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed transmission, push rod design. There's so many things that make this a really good option. It's quiet and it has a lot of torque down low. Now, one thing that Ford does is they do charge you for dual battery setup. I would like for them to change that, but you know, hey, some people don't plan on using these trucks for the high capacity that you would need to have dual batteries, but that's just my opinion. I mean, I think GM and Ram do give that to you standard. I know Ram does. I'm sure GM does too at some point, unless you get like a really basic work truck. So here's where the Lariat does show the price increase over the XLT. You do get the 12-inch display. You also have an 8-inch productivity screen on this side. They do finish the interior with this brown wood trim piece around in various places, and you do have leather seats. So this truck is optioned almost identical to that Ford F250 XLT. So I just thought that this would be a really good price point for you guys to really see the differences and see which one is better for you. So you don't have push button start, as I mentioned, but it is available with this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the interior for that XLT one last time. Be sure to check out the video too, but I'll just show you guys just the dash as I'm showing it to you here. Although this is still a really nice interior, it is definitely a step below that Lariat. Now, as far as the interior goes, the little things do make a huge difference. This is soft touch as well as this. In that Ford F250 XLT, this was all hard plastic. You do have this wood trim piece, as I mentioned, but all this stays the same as that XLT. So just be careful if you are optioning your truck. Some of that stuff might have been optional too. You do add the seat memories. And then here's some of the seat controls. And then these are the lights for each side of the mirror. And this is how you control your lighting for the truck. You do have power adjustable pedals down below. Now you still have a manually adjusted telescoping steering wheel, so just keep that in mind. And check out these leather seats. So this is definitely a nice upgrade for me, at least. I like leather seats. And with these leather seats come cooled seats too, which is even better. So let's go ahead and close the door. Has a nice sound to it too. So you can get that steering wheel perfect right there. Let's go ahead and start it up. You do just have a regular key. Check it out. So as far as this screen goes, you do have a My View. I won't take too much time because this stuff has been around for a while. Shows you your fuel economy, off-road, and then you can configure your own screen. I'll click in there. You can add and remove stuff if you'd like. And then let's move to the right. Trip, you have trip 1, trip 2. That's what it looks like for trip 1. And then a few more areas for your fuel economy. Digital speedometer, engine hours, transmission temp, seat belts, oil life, and then tire pressure monitoring. Alrighty. And then this is for your towing too, so you can just check all this stuff if you have a trailer connected. But as you see, there is nothing we can do there because there's no trailer. And then this is for your off-road pages basically. And if you want to set up the screen, you can take things away, turn things off, all that good stuff. Now, this is new for 2022. You have that big boy 12-inch display. I think that Ford did a good job keeping up with the times. Everyone's kind of going to this larger screen, and this is no exception. So very easy to use, and yeah, it's easy to set up too. I think that There's a little bit of things I would like to see, but overall it's still a really good system. You can also slide things over too. And you have a favorites section here. Very fast too. Everything works pretty quickly. You have apps. You have your CarPlay, Android Auto, and then your settings, so you can really go in here and set this thing up the way you like. You're welcome. You can turn off that beep sound. You can change the display. You can turn the display off. You can do a calm screen if you like. It's really cool. You have your climate. And then again, you can, I think you can even push up. You can't push this stuff over. The only thing you can push over is the radio, audio, whatever you want to call it, and the navigation. That's it. But and you can do your phone too. But your climate, you have to keep it over here. So that's pretty cool, very useful, and you can have a better view of it too. Now above the screen you have your traction control, that downhill assist that came part of that FX4, cautions, and here are your camera views. So you do have a camera above your bed. It's a little grainy. I'd like to see something a little bit more cleaner. You can turn it back off. And it could be because, it could even be because of the sun too. Although the sun is ahead of us, it seems like it might be just throwing a little bit of glare somewhere. But you do have your four-wheel drive system on this side, and you have a trailer brake down below. And you do pick up dual climate control too with the Lariat versus what you saw on the XLT. And my, doesn't get any better than cooled seats. You have two USBs down here. This does slide closed, and you can slide this for additional cup holders, or you can keep it for storage. And this center console feels about the same as what I felt on that XLT. Very large storage down below. And you do have a power plug too, right there. And I'm going to say this every time until Ram fixes this, but I love how Ford does their auxiliary switches. Place to add your sunglasses, and you do have LED lights inside the interior. If you want to slide that rear glass, this was not available on that XLT, by the way. Now, that driver's seat was power, and this passenger seat is power. So keep in mind, the power seat for that XLT was optional, but it did not have one for the passenger side. So you pretty much the same interior design that you saw on the driver's side, on the doors. And here's your storage. Not that deep, but it's useful for, you know, small things. And then let's take a look out back. 60/40 bench, LED lights above. That's interesting. If you push both sides, it makes it brighter, by the way. I did not know that. And you do have a 60/40 benches. I think I mentioned, did I already say that? I probably already said that, I'm sorry. And then you can drop this down and lock it in place. Pretty cool. If you have a big dog, perfect for them. Put it back up. Pretty cool. And you do have that flat floor surface, power plugs, USBs, all out back. You do have some air vents too to keep people comfortable back here too. Seat back pockets. I don't really mention this a lot, but these are very useful too. And you do have hooks above on both sides. So here's a better look at that flat floor surface. Now, one of my subscribers, Matthew Anderson, I'm going to keep giving you shout outs because you give me great information. Check this out. So even though you have a flat floor surface, something that he mentioned was they did raise this floor on each side to be flat with the center. So your legs do sit up a little bit higher, or your feet sit up a little bit higher. So just keep that in mind. That's something that I definitely did not notice. but nevertheless, it's something that, you know, might affect you. So when you're really shopping your trucks, you might want to look at these types of things. But overall, it's still really comfortable, very big cab, and it's definitely something that I would, you know, keep in mind if you are in the market. So let's check out the numbers on the door here. So your gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 5,600 pounds. Your rear gross axle weight rating in the rear is going to be 6,340, and you also have a 10,000 pound GVWR. And then all-in payload capacity is 2,967 pounds. So despite having more options and features, you don't lose that much payload, because this was 3,004 versus 2,967. So I don't know. I think I would choose the Lariat. I think that that's more than enough payload. And if you want, if you're towing a fifth wheel or something like that, you can always take the spare tire off. I would always skip running boards because that's always going to affect your payload. But this truck, not having a, you know, spray and bed liner and a gooseneck fifth wheel prep package, that's also going to make the truck heavier too. So just keep that in mind. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.